What's going on, YouTube? Taz Flash Arts here. And tonight I want to talk about brutality against the homeless and the monopoly this state has against us. Yep, that's right. It's another rant video. And I try not to do these, but when you treat human beings like cattle and wake them up at 2 o'clock in the morning and herd them to the fucking library where the worst of the worst are, your shit's gonna be stolen, you're gonna get robbed in the middle of the night, wake up with no shoes, you're sleeping around flocka and crackheads just because the city made a complaint to the mayor. And the mayor, the only solution they can come up with is, hey, let's chase them off from where they're sleeping when they're being quiet and not bothering anyone. And there's no one around but homeless people. Yeah, let's chase them out of there and force them to go to the worst spot in town and not give them any resources to do anything about their life. Some of us don't bother nobody. We don't do anything but go to food, go find a spot to charge, and sit and wait for nighttime to come so that we can do it again the next day. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, that's the problem with the homeless. They don't do anything. But look at it this way. When you only get $7.50 a month, okay, and rent in this town is a whole other $100 more for the cheapest apartment, and you gotta have $1,400 or better to get into a place, and your government tells you you're not allowed to make more than $65 a month before they start taking from your Social Security check. How are you supposed to save up and get a place and make a difference in your life when they're even taxing you for the money your girlfriend sent you to be able to eat? My girl sends me $50 a month, and Social Security found out, and they want to tax me because my girlfriend sent me a gift so that I can go eat. They want to deduct that out of my money each month. And it's not like I can go out there and say, fuck Social Security with 3 herniated discs in my back. I'm already lugging a backpack around every freaking day, risking being paralyzed. For what? I went 2,000 miles away from this town and got drugged back here to help my mom. And when things got too rough for my mom, she drove me back down here to Fort Lauderdale and stranded me out here for the streets to devour me one more time. And I know she's gonna see this, and I'm sorry I'm putting it out there like that, Mom, but that's what it is. I didn't fit your status quo in your house, so you threw me to the wolves. And for the past 6 to 8 months now, I've been out here struggling while you're calling and asking for my help so that I can come up there and you can treat me like I'm being a monster, because I don't feel like I should have to wake up every morning and do everything for you. I would if it wasn't something treated like I'm obligated to do that. I've always been there for my mom. I've been the one person in the family that hasn't ever walked away from her or told her no for anything that I could do for her. And this is where I am. Some guy, and nothing against you, Josh. I'm happy that you're there. I'm happy that my mom's actually willing to help somebody out, of their situation. But some guy that I call brother because I went to middle school and kindergarten with gets to be treated more like a son than I do. I got the heck out of here and went to Colorado so that I could get away from this, and came back because my mom needed my help because a hurricane ripped her roof off. And I'm stuck because I came back. Not because I'm a piece of shit with a drug habit. And why don't I go to a homeless shelter? Well, it's simple. In this town, unless you're a druggie that smokes crack or flocka or, shoots up or something like that, these shelters don't accept you. I was in a shelter for 2 months telling them I'm not a junkie. I smoke weed. Yeah, that's right. Taz Flash Arts smokes weed. And I don't care who knows it, because I go to myself. I go away from people. I share with the friends that don't do heavy drugs and don't go around robbing and stealing from people and causing problems. And what do I get? I get treated like garbage by the government that's supposed to be here for us. The sovereignty of a country is only as great as how they treat their lowest citizen. And that means the homeless population. Herding us off to the worst parts of town is not a solution to the problem. It's just sending more people to their deaths out here every year. It's 2018. Right now, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning on the 2nd of January 2018. Last year, 80 homeless people lost their lives out here. And I wanted so badly to bring a post on here for the homeless memorial that happened a couple weeks ago. And being respectful to the church that did it, I am waiting for approval to be able to upload that video. But it's only because every year the police get more brutal to the homeless. The people in the town morally spit in our face left and right, regardless of what we do, regardless of how we carry ourselves. If I didn't carry a backpack on my back, no one out here would know that I'm homeless unless they seen me sleeping somewhere. You know why? Because I have a storage unit. I've got a friend. I go and shower at his house and sleep on the weekends. And I go from feeding to feeding, making sure that I don't go to sleep hungry every night, looking like a junkie because I can't afford to eat and put money away to get off the streets. Now, people want to act like, oh, well, you're only 22, you're only 32 years old. I'm sorry, it's late. I rose from sleep and had to freaking go find a new spot. I'm really tired and jumbled in my brain. Yes, I know how old I am. I'm sorry for my stumbling with my words. It's just, I'm really aggravated about how this town is. People want to think that because I'm 32 years old as of the 16th of this month, that I don't know nothing, that I couldn't possibly have any wisdom to give. But you're wrong, because I've lived a very heavy life, from having to struggle with mental disabilities to having to struggle to learn how to be a productive member of society. I've held jobs. I've worked construction with my dad growing up and learned a trade that I can't put to use because my mental disability prevents me from being able to learn how to drive. And in order to open up a handyman service, I need mobility. I need to be able to drive around from job to job. I can't just carry a skill saw and a bag of tools on my back around town and make money. There's no way to carry the amount of tools I would need to carry that kind of a company on my shoulders. You think I want to be living on Social Security? No, I guard it and keep it and maintain it because it's the only thing keeping me from being another dead homeless statistic out here. And I've been battling on and off the streets since 2008, watching this town get more and more indifferent against the homeless and against the people that are just trying to survive. I don't want to have to sit out here and collect a check and deal with the police and be looked down on by the community that doesn't consider me part of the community. I don't even think you guys out there consider us part human. Because the people that do pretend to care come out to the library and hand out food that's half spoiled. And then the cops wonder why there's vomit all over the sidewalks. It's because we run around all day scrounging up for food and get fed rotten food because you guys, from tourists to locals to cops to businesses, find anything and everything you can to nitpick about. You want to complain that homeless are out here pissing and shitting all over the place. But when we wake up to go to the bathroom in the morning, all the bathrooms are locked. Because they're not there for the homeless. After a certain time at night, they go around and lock all the bathrooms because all the bars have closed and all the entertainment places like Broward Center Performing Arts and 3D IMAX and the library and all these places here for the tourists and the locals and the families aren't open anymore. So they closed the bathroom because there aren't any more people out there that need to use the bathroom. It's just a bunch of homeless rats scurrying about the streets, trying to stay dry. You see that? You see the sky? You see that? It is cold as hell tonight. And it is overcast. It may or may not rain tonight. And anywhere that has an overhang where someone can stay out of the rain is got a freaking no trespassing sign. And it wasn't like that when I first came out. You could go sleep at the church. You could go find sanctuaries. You could even go into some of these churches and sleep in the worship center because it's a sanctuary and they're not supposed to turn you away. But the laws in this town have changed so much, they're not even allowed to let us sleep inside their doors. The churches aren't even allowed to use their right of sanctuary in their own house. I'm a member of the First Baptist Church. I have been since I was saved back in 2008 after getting hit by a car and an angel flipping me around in midair, stopping me from going head first through the windshield. And I got 2 herniated discs in my lower back from that accident because I landed with my butt in the windshield. But how I started turning when I went up into the air, I should have went head first through that dude's windshield, right into the driver. I'm not out here panhandling and begging for handouts and asking for anybody's sympathy. It's getting to the point where the only way you can make money out here to get off the streets is to sell drugs and be a piece of shit. Steal from homeless and tourists and take stuff to the stolen merchandise to the freaking pawn shop. No, I don't do none of that, okay? That's not what I do. But that's why people do that crap out here. Because the services they do have for us are bullcrap. The shelters chase you away and turn you away because you're not a junkie. But then when you're a junkie and they let you in there, they give you 6 months. 6 months ain't no time to recover from drugs of just about any kind. So they put you in a bed with a bunch of junkies who are sneaking the drugs into the shelters. So it's not like you're even away from the drugs when you're in there. It's actually harder to get clean in a shelter down here in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. I've never been in any other shelters outside of Broward County. So I can't vouch for any other state or any other county in this state. Okay? I'm talking from my life experience right here in my hometown, which I used to have such a great love for this city. I grew up going to the 3D IMAX for field trips, watching science documentaries in there and going through the science displays, going to the art museum, and going to Disney on Ice at the Broward Center of Performing Arts. My family used to have picnics in freaking Holiday Park. You know, this town used to be part of my heartbeat. I used to be able to say, I'm proud that I came from Fort Lauderdale. Now I fantasize and dream and plot and plan on how to get out of Florida. Because our governor and our mayor and our city councilmen, they don't care. Everybody in this city, even the rich fat cats that stick their thumb down on us and put pressure and monopolize our situation to be worse. Everybody in this city is just a freaking Jenga block away from their life falling apart and winding up back out here or out here for the first time. You could get divorced, your wife or husband could leave you and wind up out here. You could be renting an apartment and they raise the rent on you and you can't afford it anymore because you get Social Security and Social Security says you're not allowed to work. So when they raise your rent above your SSI check, which isn't enough to cover an apartment, you're lucky to get an apartment and just be able to pay rent. So people on Social Security are living in apartments where they can only afford rent, and they're moms and dads and family members are draining their pockets paying for their family members' utilities because they can only afford their rent. And it's okay. It's okay by everybody because everybody has what they want and need. Everybody's gotten so well off in this city that they've become their own gods. You know? They don't even need to turn to God and say, I need you, O Lord. Help me. No. They're so rich that they've turned a blind eye to God. They've turned a blind eye to society. They've turned a blind eye to anything that doesn't further their agenda. From the cops, to the congressmen, to the people that have their own houses and their own apartments that don't have to fight with Social Security, don't have to worry about Medicaid and this, that, and the other because they make enough money or they got this union job where they're making $30 an hour plus medical benefits and that benefit. And, you know, it truly is time for a change. This is not the America our founders intended for. It was supposed to be equal right and opportunity for everybody. Not, well, you've got mental disabilities and a broken back, so you get to live on the streets of Fort Lickerdale. I call it that. And most Fort Lauderdale natives call it that. A lot more things like Fort Shitfield, Fort Crackdale. You come to Florida on vacation, leave on probation, come back on violation. These things aren't things that people that live here just came up with. It's real shit. It's the real deal. That is what Fort Lauderdale is. Not those postcards and commercials that you see across the country. I've seen an advertisement for a travel agency advertising different things in Fort Lauderdale. Oh, come to Fort Lauderdale. We've got sun and palm trees and beaches, and we've got the Dolphins, and we've got the Heat and the Panthers, and we've got Disney World in Orlando. Oh, big whoop. A lot of snowbirds come here. And by snowbirds, I mean homeless people that live in the cold states that get snow. Alright? They migrate down to Florida during the winter. And they crap all over this city. And make the homeless look even worse than the native homeless make this city look. During the summer, winter, and fall. because they see these commercials about how great Fort Lauderdale is. It's the city of opportunity for snowbirds living out in the cold under a blanket, hoping they're not a popsicle when they wake up in the morning. I know. I went to Colorado for 5 months last year. Last year, as in 2016. The end of 2016. Still not used to it being 2018 yet. Sorry about that. Okay, I went over there and I froze my butt off in my buddy's PT Cruiser. And it was so harsh out there that a 12-year-long friendship that survived 12 years worth of homelessness in Fort Lauderdale. We had 2 apartments together. We were the maintenance men of our last apartment building. That's right. We were the guys that went in and cleared out the garbage when someone got evicted, and patched holes and cleaned grout lines and caulked bathtubs and painted and replaced doors and fixed AC units that leaked into the wall. We had to take them out of the wall because the wall is cut out. They're just ghetto placed into the wall, and no one cared to seal it off around, so it was leaking into the wall and causing the mold to grow on the wall in the apartment underneath. And we had to take it out and put a new AC unit in and seal the hole up to where if it happens again, it doesn't leak down into it. And we had to set up a drip pan underneath it, so that the water, the condensation from the unit didn't flood out the top balcony, making it slippery and health risk, you know. We went through living hell on these streets, from my buddy breaking his leg and me having to push him around out here for 3 months in a cast in a wheelchair over these uneven sidewalks with all of our luggage, being chased off in the middle of the night, being harassed by the horse cop that just hates the homeless and finds anything and everything he can to chase you off, and prays and hopes that you run your mouth so that he can beat you down and lock you up. This is the kind of indifference this city has against us. And me and my buddy survived that. Our friendship and road dogship could survive this city, but it couldn't survive the winter in Colorado. Living in a PT Cruiser with your best friend you went through hell with. So I don't want to hear nobody say I don't know what I'm talking about, because I went up there and I struggled through the snowbird life on the streets. And I worked at the labor pool just to get by. We spent thousands of dollars during the 5 months I was up there just to get into the hotel room for a week at a time. And I'm paying for it. Social Security is deducting that money out of my check each month. Well, this month my check went back to regular, but I don't know if I paid off or they just sent me the full check because I got a raise this month, so did everybody else on Social Security. Oh, big whoop, we got a whole nother $30. Woo! We're still $80 shy of being able to afford monthly rent that we can't afford because we can't come up with $1,400 or better to get into a place because we can't work. I tried to better my situation. I'm pulling at straws now. There's nothing left for me to do that I haven't already tried. Snowbirds come here thinking that, oh, it's going to be warm, so it's going to be better. And they all just wind up running back up north before the winter's over because it's that bad down here. Even the snowbirds are starting to flee back to their homeless nests and their snow states because this city sucks. There's nothing here for anybody unless you're rich. So, unless you're rich, don't come to this town. It's not the town for you. And there ain't many places here in Florida that I would say is a good place for you to be. I'm not saying, oh, well, this is my town. You stay the hell out of here because we don't need you. No. I think that if you can survive in this town and you got the means to do so, it's a great town. I grew up loving this town. I couldn't have asked for a better town to have grown up and learn about life in. But as an adult in this town, going through my struggle, it's not worth it to be here. And if I could get out of here, if I wasn't fighting with Social Security to keep my check right now because they've got me under an investigation that they do with everybody occasionally to prove that you're still disabled and you still need your check and that you're not scamming them out of their money. You know, this is the fifth year in a row Florida has put me through a review with Social Security. 5th year in a row that I have to fight to keep my check. And now they're asking for more proof that I don't have because I haven't been to the doctors in years. None of my doctors even work in the same doctor's offices anymore. And my psychiatrist, I haven't seen since 2007. Doesn't even work in this town anymore. Can't find her. Not in the phone book, not in the resource book, nothing. In Henderson, I so don't want to go back to Henderson because they put a monopoly on me growing up in the programs, making things hard for my mom and my family because they're dicks. They regulate their own rules. They decide what their regulations are. They make it hard. They make it even harder on the minority families. But you know one thing Henderson doesn't do to the minority families? Yeah, there's a lot of minorities in foster cares and in the system as kids. But you look at a minority family, they get away with murder with their kids. They beat them, they smack them around in Publix. They're not nice to their kids. And there was a day where that's just a story. That's just how it goes. You know? But let a white mom spank her kid in Publix and a cop see it. Child services would be out there in less than a half an hour. The mom and kid would be in Publix's holding, where they put all the shoplifters until the cops show up. And that kid would be going to the state. And that family would spend the next 6 months to 5 years plus fighting for their kid back. But there was a day where a kid called child services because they were really getting beat at home. And there was nothing done because it wasn't brutal enough. You had to freaking take your kid and sit him on a hot burner on the stove or some crazy psychotic crazy thing to lose your kids. In like my mom's childhood days and my stepdad's childhood days, and even somewhat during my childhood, there was reminiscences of those days. Like, if we acted up in the neighborhood and one of our neighbors seen us do something bad, they had permission to whoop our ass. Because it took a village to raise a child back then. And that was understood, that a child becomes more knowledgeable and more wise by being raised by a multitude than to be raised by a family on its own. If I so much, got caught outside of school, walking the neighborhoods growing up, and my neighbors seen me, they would whoop my ass, bring me home to my parents, and my parents would whip my ass. I get it twice. But now, so many people are afraid to discipline their kids. You've got little ghetto kids in Publix slapping their mom and telling them, you're gonna buy me that piece of candy now, bitch. What? Since when do kids have the freaking balls to slap their mom, cuss her out, and demand shit from them? If I did that growing up, my pants would have came down right in the middle of Publix. My dad's belt would have came off, and I would have got whooped on the spot. And not a cashier rep, not a stock boy, not a client or cop would say a damn thing about it. Because that's how you raise a kid. Spare the rod, spoil the child. I believe that that's a little harsh in some scenarios. Each kid's treated different, you know. Yeah, you show them the same love and the same respect. But you can't raise every kid the same way because they're different mind. And some kids just aren't going to respond to a butt whooping. They're just going to be spiteful, turn around and pull the state in and screw everybody in the family over. Who cares that it was the kid's fault that he got a butt whooping in public? The society's falling apart, y'all. And it's only going to get worse. This video is not going to make a difference. It'll open some eyes, hopefully. And hopefully it'll inspire somebody that hates the homeless to take 5 minutes out of their day. Come out and sit down and talk to one of us. And hear our story. Hear why we're in our situation. Don't just go straight to thinking, no, you're just a bunch of junkies. And gentrification is the only answer to the problem. It's not. It didn't work when the government created AIDS to decrease the black population. It didn't work when the government made crack and started selling it to the inner city ghettos. Nothing this government has ever done to monopolize the homeless into one spot has ever worked. Because you know what happens? You come out tonight and you chase me off. You cop with a vendetta against the homeless. Or maybe he doesn't have a vendetta against the homeless because he wasn't rude and nasty about it. I actually kind of was. Because I was half asleep. And I apologize to you, sir, for having an attitude with you tonight. But you gotta realize that chasing us off is not being part of the solution. It's being part of the problem. pushing us off to some other county or some other state or some other part of the county. It doesn't do nothing. Because tomorrow night, there's going to be 15 other homeless people that you didn't chase off from that park tonight. You chased off from another spot tonight that are going to be sleeping where I was sleeping earlier. And guess what? Tomorrow, that airport's going to be having people show up. The Greyhound, the Tri-Rail, they're all going to have people showing up. They do every single day. Somebody that was homeless in another city and couldn't hack it there and decided, let's go to the beautiful state of Florida and go down to Fort Lauderdale, because that's where all the college spring break stuff happens. That's where all the exciting stuff you hear about Florida happens. So let's go down to Fort Lauderdale, because it just looks like the place to be. It's not. Move on somewhere else for your own good. Because you're just another face in the crowd to be spat on and treated like garbage. For all you that made it this far into my video, I thank you so much. I know I've ran on for about an hour now, but I really needed this. This is therapy to me, so that when I fall asleep after uploading this video tonight, I can wake up and not carry this grudge with me tomorrow. And I am glad that I was able to spend some time with you guys tonight. I've been trying my best to put together something worthy of watching here for you guys. And it's really difficult with the struggle of bouncing around and being moved and having to deal with jerks all the time out here. It's hard to record during the day because someone sees you with your phone and then they steal it at night when you go to sleep. My laptop disappeared right out of my backpack while I was sleeping. They did it so discreetly, I didn't even feel anything, and I'm a light sleeper. I sleep with my bag chained down. So you have to wake me to get out my bag because of my laptop disappeared. Do I have anything worth value on me? No. 3 months ago, I bought this phone I do my blogs on for $75 at Metro PCS. And within days, the screen was broken. Because of homeless life. That's all. Homeless life. Having to pack up and go every half hour, every couple of hours. Because someone out there feels they're higher than you in life. And they've got the right to treat you like gutter rats. And as I speak, a cop just pulled through this parking garage and is most likely getting ready to come and move me. Most homeless people would be like, oh, well, I'm going to record this and upload it and make a big fuss and stir for everybody to post about my drama. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to end the post before they get a chance to come over here and say something, because I don't have to prove nothing to you guys. I'm not here telling you fake stories or, doing nonsense. I'm giving you real life. I don't need to prove nothing. So, on that note, I love you all. From U.S. to the whole world. You guys mean a lot. Not that you guys probably even watch my videos, because I don't know. I don't get any comments. I don't get no likes or nothing. I see that I get over 2,000 views a month. But that's also my music videos, playlists, and my movie playlists. I don't think you guys are really watching my personal videos, and that's alright. This is more for me than for you guys. But if you watch and you listen and you become a fan, like I am, of several channels that have inspired me to pick up this camera and do the same thing, because I see the love you guys give them. They've developed a rapport with you guys, and I get it. I'm homeless. Most people are going to see a guy with a camera sleeping outside and just bypass this video. But if you watched and you made it this far, thank you so much. You are absolutely loved by me. You are absolutely respected and cherished in my heart. Because that's why I'm doing this. Is because I want that connection with you guys. I want that outlet where I can come here eventually on a daily basis and not at night and talk to you guys and tell you guys what I'm up to, and pull you away from your life and your mundane stress and drama, which I'm sure you guys got just as much as me. Whether you're homeless, you're rich, poor, whether you're in the hospital sipping milkshakes through a straw, whether it doesn't make a difference. I love you all. Like, subscribe, favorite. This is Taz Flash Arts. Like always, peace, love, and dope. Peace out, y'all.